Good afternoon and welcome to Thursday's Word. It is a beautiful March day, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. It's not uncommon on this day to have snow or sleet or pouring rain, but today is a lovely spring day. The sun is shining, it's not too cold. In fact, I really don't need my poncho, and yet I'm so used to wearing it that here it is around my shoulders. I'm sitting outside of my condominium, and you may notice that on the door there's a wreath that says, "We love snow." And indeed, I do love snow and I like winter, but I can't help at this time of year to feel some excitement when I see the daffodils beginning to come out of the ground, or the greening of the hosta and the ferns that are right here by my side if I look over here to the left. It's a time of hope, a time of new life. This is the 5th Sunday in Lent this coming week, and we will be reading from the prophet Jeremiah as he describes a new covenant that is given to the people of Israel. He says that this new covenant is written on their hearts and that they all will come to know the Lord and to do God's will because it's a part of who they are. That's something that's a bit challenging to consider. Is it true that God's will, God's ways, God's love, God's forgiveness, all is written on our hearts and cannot be removed or taken from us? And if that's so, why do we have terrible incidents like the one yesterday in Atlanta, where 8 innocent people were killed by a gunman who evidently was acting out on his frustration and humiliation over his own shortcomings? Or at least that's what he claims. The fact of the matter is that God's love, God's forgiveness, God's grace, God's mercy, God's guidance are written on the hearts of humanity. But we can choose. We can choose whether or not to live out of those great gifts that are ours. And so, in this imperfect world filled with imperfect people, we can't help but pray that more and more people will acknowledge who they are as God's children and act in ways that bring them closer to being who God created them to be. God created this beautiful world in which we live and its people. As I look around, I don't have any doubt feeling that God had a hand in the beauty that surrounds us. And I do believe that there are more good people in the world than evil ones. I absolutely believe that love triumphs over hate and that God is victorious in leading us to do that which God desires, more so than not. And so we dwell during this time of Lent on what it means to be who God created us to be. And we strive to love in our world in the same way that God loves us. May you have a blessed day.